Jadi papen. Iya guys, saya Pak.
Good afternoon. It's 2:30 p.m. on a lovely Sunday, and I'm currently riding an express train that left from Malang this morning, heading east all the way across the island of Java, Indonesia. After more than 6 hours on the tracks, I'm now approaching Banyuwangi, a city at the very eastern tip of Java Island. The name of this train? Ijen Express. That's right, I'm on my way to visit Kawah Ijen, a dream destination for travelers from all around the world. The kids in the train are getting all excited, and honestly, so am I. Just imagine it, the stunning sunrise over the crater, the mysterious blue flames known as the fire of hell, and the sulfur miners emerging from the thick mist, walking through it all in slow motion like scenes straight out of a movie. Oh man, I can't wait. But let's be real, Kawah Ijen is also known for its steep and challenging hiking trail. Even young, fit travelers often find it exhausting, let alone a middle-aged man like me who doesn't work out regularly. Can I make it to the top? Well, I've got a plan, though I have to admit it's not exactly something to brag about. Instead of hiking up to earn that satisfying sense of achievement, I might go with what the locals jokingly call the Lamborghini service. That's the nickname for the mountain trolleys, where you can pay local porters to literally pull you up the trail. It's kind of cheating, you could say that, but honestly, it might be the more practical option for me. So here I am, ready to swallow a bit of pride, ready to pay a bit of extra cash. I'm all in to fulfill my Kawah Ijen dream. Also, the two highlights of the Ijen trip, the crater sunrise and the blue flame, are usually seen separately. Most tourists can only catch one or the other if they climb just once. Very few manage to see both in a single day. That's why I'm planning to stay Banyuwangi for 2 days, as I'm aiming for both.
Tidak Pak. Di sini tidak.
What? Well, despite all the research, there's always something off-plan. It turns out that the Ketapang train station is in what they call a red zone, where taxis, Grab, and Gojek are not allowed to pick up passengers. Are you kidding me? The locals tried to explain the whole red zone thing to me, but I could barely understand what they were saying. Looks like I'll have to hop on one of these tricycles first to get out of the so-called red zone, and then I can switch to a Grab.
Terima kasih ya, Mas.
I've traveled around Indonesia a lot, and I'm usually totally fine with riding one of these traditional tricycles. In fact, I even enjoy it, slowly rolling along while soaking in the local scenery. But today, my hotel is kind of far.
Ketapang stasiun,
Pelabuhan tidak bisa. Why? Tidak bagus.
Drop tidak masalah.
Oh, tidak masalah. Pick up tidak bisa.
Pick up tidak bisa.
Oh, God damn.
Okay, I won't let a few small annoyances ruin my mood. The rest of my trip is going to be great. I just know it.
Dialoog.
The hotel I'm staying at is called Dialoog. I'm not even sure how to pronounce it properly. Is it Dialoog or Dialoog?
Terima kasih ya, Mas.
Terima kasih juga ya.
Oh, bagus. Thank you.
But pronunciation aside, this place is amazing. From here you can look across a narrow strait and catch a glimpse of Bali Island in the distance. Since it's still the low season, there aren't many guests around. It's a bit quiet, but I like it that way. The staff at the front desk brought me a welcome drink, and then come another pleasant surprise. free upgrade to a sea view suite. How awesome is that?
Okay.
Well, it's a junior suite as they call it, but to me, it feels more like a spacious studio room, with a partition in the middle that separates the living area and sleeping space from the bathroom and walk-in closet. Still, the room feels really open and airy. I like it. Linen sofa, marble coffee table, and a smart TV on the partition. Oh, there is no work desk here, so if I want use laptop must on coffee table then. 2 stylish throw pillows on the sofa, and a colorful carved artwork above the queen-size bed. Double sinks, premium amenities, super relaxing bathroom with a big bathtub, very nice. There's a large lounge chair on the balcony, and the view here is amazing. The afternoon sun lights up the green lawn and palm trees, with the Bali Strait shimmering in the background. It takes just 1 second for your brain to switch into full-on vacation mode. My room is on the 2nd floor, and it's the one closest to the sea. I can see everything from here. Using my telephoto lens, I can even spot Port Gilimanuk across the strait on the Bali side. It's a lovely hotel. Considering the physical challenge at Kawah Ijen over the next 2 days, I think choosing to stay here and recharge should be a right call. But right now, my mind is completely filled with excitement for tomorrow's adventure, so the hotel appreciation can wait. I decide to have dinner a bit earlier tonight, and after that, I'll try to force myself to get some sleep, because the Kawah Ijen trip starts at midnight. While waiting for my food, I take a quick stroll down to the beach. This cabana is really beautiful. I think it's used for private dinners or even wedding ceremonies. That said, the hotel doesn't have the soft white sand beaches like those in Bali. Maybe that's the one tiny downside. But it's still a charming hotel indeed. For dinner, I'd better not eat too much. After all, I still want to catch a bit of sleep before heading out at midnight. Good morning. It is good morning, right? Since it's already past 12 o'clock midnight, my Ijen adventure begins. Did I get any sleep last night? Ha, not a chance. I usually don't go to bed before midnight anyway. I guess I'll catch up on sleep after I get back to hotel later today. Ah, that must be my driver.
Selamat pagi, Pak. How are you?
Kurang lebih 1 jam.
1 jam.
15 menit ya.
Okay.
My driver was actually recommended by a friend. Since I've worked in Indonesia for quite a long time and know a bit of the local language, just enough to get by, I usually go with the more flexible, transportation-only option and handle the rest myself. For foreign visitors who aren't familiar with the area, joining a guided tour is probably still the best option. All foreign tourists are required to do a quick health check before going to Kawah Ijen, just to make sure there are no potential health issues.
Oh, a lot of people. Oh no. Oh yeah.
Looks like we're gonna have to queue for a while to get my health certification. But just then, my driver just walks straight inside. After a round of handshakes and small talk with a few of his buddies, he suddenly waves me over and brings me directly to a doctor. I'm guessing he added me into another tour group by talking to his friends, just so I could skip the line and get my health check done early. The health check is super simple, just a quick heartbeat and blood pressure check. It takes less than 2 minutes.
Sudah.
And just like that, under the curious stares of everyone in line, we are done and out ahead of the crowd. I could practically feel the daggers in everyone's eyes as they watched me walk out early.
Terima kasih, Mas. We're caught in the line, isn't it? Okay, good, bagus. Yeah, otherwise waiting for a long time. Yeah.
Okay, I'll admit it, cheating a little sometimes doesn't feel too bad. From Banyuwangi to the entrance of Kawah Ijen, it takes about an hour. This 40-kilometer road to Kawah Ijen feels quite safe, as most of it is well lit with street lamps. Even the last few kilometers without lighting still have clear reflective markers and warning signs for curbs. Around 1:15 a.m., we've arrived at the entrance to Kawah Ijen, located in a small town called Paltuding. The gate doesn't open to visitors until 2 a.m., but that's okay. It's all part of my plan. If you're joining a tour group, I think your guide will likely have everything arranged for you. But if you're a solo traveler like me who enjoys maximum flexibility, then let me share a few tips from my online research. You might find them useful. Tip number 1. Even though the gate isn't open yet, it's a good idea to head over to the small ticket booth right next to the entrance. There's already staff working inside.
Oh, somebody's camping there, you see?
This is where you'll exchange your documents for an entrance pass. Because if you wait until 2 a.m., there might be a long queue, so it's best to get it done early. Here's what you'll need.
Tunggal.
Satu orang, Pak.
Niku, teng kertas mau, Om. Kertas iku. Sing iki ambil iki mburi ni. Enten. Ngapunten nggih.
Oh, yeah. Page second. Terima kasih. Yeah.
Once you've handed in everything and paid the fee, you'll receive your entrance pass. After that, there's no need to wait at the gate.
Okay.
You can head to one of the nearby shops to relax while you wait for the 2 a.m. opening. There are a lot of shops like this around the area. All of them offer hot and cold drinks, snacks, and more importantly, they rent out warm clothing and hiking gear. So tip number 2, rent your gear. Again, if you're in a guided tour group, all the gear rentals are probably already included in your package fee. By the way, I would recommend bringing an extra flashlight because the headlamp here seems a bit too weak. As more visitors arrive, the place gradually becomes lively. People like to grab a hot drink here and make their final preparations before the hike. Now, it's hiking time.
Satu orang, Pak.
Well, hiking might not be the right word in my case. I almost forgot. Once the gate opens, the real hikers march in with confident strides, ready to conquer the mountain. But I'm kind of lingering at the entrance for a while, trying to avoid the first wave of tourists. Maybe subconsciously I just don't want them to see me heading straight for the trolleys. Like I'm not even going to try, although it is true. These trolleys were originally used for transporting sulfur, but now they've been modified with seats to carry passengers instead. Usually it takes 2 porters to operate 1 trolley.
Terima kasih, ya, Mas.
They're humorously named after luxury cars, like Lamborghini or Ferrari. As for the trolley fare, it's pretty much the same as what I found online. But if you take it during the daytime or hop on halfway up, it can actually be a bit cheaper. So, this is my hiking, as you can see. Feel free to laugh if you want. But let me still share my 2 ascents in 2 days master plan. Day 1, I'll take the trolley, just like this, for the 3.2-kilometer uphill stretch to reach the crater. From there, I'll hike another 1.2 kilometers on foot. A real hike, No more trolley. To reach the best sunrise viewpoint, also known as the panorama point, before 5:20 a.m. Day 2. Same trolley ride up to the crater like today, but then comes the most challenging part, chasing the famous blue flames. Yep, I'm saving that adventure for tomorrow. Now you might ask, is it possible to see the blue flames first, then quickly hike up and still make it to the sunrise viewpoint by 5:20 a.m.? Technically, yes, it's possible, and some people do manage to pull it off. But honestly, I'd say only about 10 to 20% of visitors can actually make it. You'd need to be really fit, move fast, and take only minimal breaks. I'll explain why in a bit. The first kilometer of the trail is relatively flat, and our trolley rolls along pretty smoothly. But it doesn't take long before the path gets steeper and steeper. Some sections even feel like a 45-degree incline. I can clearly see my two porters starting to struggle, especially around the 1.5 to 2 kilometer mark, where the trail zigzags steeply uphill non-stop. At that point, I hop off the trolley a couple of times to give them a bit of a break. I also want to test myself, without the weight of my backpack and camera, just to see if I can handle this kind of slope on my own. The result? Not great. I walk maybe 150 meters in total after getting off 2 or 3 times, and I'm already gasping for air, completely out of breath. And I start worrying about tomorrow's challenging Blue Flames plan, which involves hiking down into the crater. Can I really do it? Watching my porters struggle up the steep trail, I feel both guilty and grateful. It's because of their hard work that I'm able to experience this Ijen journey at all, sitting in a trolley under a sky full of stars on this winding mountain path. And suddenly, I realize it actually makes perfect sense that these trolleys are nicknamed Lamborghinis. Because right now I am enjoying a kind of luxury ride, just in a different form. After about 1 hour and 45 minutes, my Lamborghini, the trolley, finally arrives at the crater.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you.
Out of nowhere, a strong wind suddenly kicks up. That's both good news and bad news for me. The good part is that the wind might blow away the clouds and the sulfur smoke, so I might actually get a perfect sunrise. The bad part? My windbreaker is clearly no match for this bone-chilling wind. It's freezing. I'm kind of regretting not renting a thicker jacket back at the base. Actually, I've arrived a bit too early if I'm just here to catch the sunrise. But that's because I wanted to give myself some extra time to explore the area and check out the route for tomorrow's big mission, the Blue Flames. The spot where I'm standing now is basically the main gathering point. From here, visitors split off in 2 directions, either continuing around the rim to Panorama Point to catch the sunrise, or heading down into the crater to see the famous Blue Flames. The descent into the crater from here is known for being steep and dangerous. And honestly, even now, I'm still not 100% sure if I'll be able to pull it off tomorrow. But it doesn't seem too bad, isn't it? Maybe, just maybe, I can do it. Luckily, there's actually a little stall here. It's the only shelter near the crater. Even though it's super run down, with wind slipping through all the gaps, it still offers some much-needed protection from the cold. I huddle in this wind-leaking shack, and somehow even manage to doze off for a bit. "4:40 a.m., time to head out to the sunrise viewpoint. But wait, why is nobody here? The path winds along the edge of the crater, sometimes hugging steep cliffs, other times weaving through strange, low, twisted bushes.
Oh my god.
With only my flashlight casting a faint beam ahead, the whole atmosphere feels super spooky. It feels like I'm inside one of those horror games, like Silent Hill. I think I better stop and wait for the next group of hikers to catch up. Let them go first, and I'll just follow behind. Standing at the edge of the crater, I still can't make out the outline of the lake below. In the distance, along the trail leading down to the Blue Flames, Tiny beams of flashlight flicker, forming a zigzagging line in the night. At the far end of that glowing path, I think I catch a faint glimmer of blue. The eastern horizon is starting to brighten, but from where I'm standing now, most of the sunlight is still blocked by Mount Merapi. Finally, a group of hikers shows up. Great. After you. Under the light of dawn, walking through these mysterious wind-blown shrubs gives me a strangely refreshing feeling, something I've never experienced before. The trail here is quite easy and almost completely flat. It's getting brighter. I'd better hurry up. I've been stopping and starting so much along the way. I've definitely lost some time. "5:10 a.m. Finally, I arrive at the panorama sunrise viewing point, just in time before the sun comes up. This is the place where you can step out of Mount Merapi's shadow and get a clear view of the northeastern part of Banyuwangi. In the soft twilight, the world's largest acidic lake begins to reveal itself. Its unique turquoise blue color is absolutely striking. But I know it's still not time for the ooh and ah just yet. Just wait for it a little bit more. And then the sun finally peeks out from behind Mount Merapi. At that very moment, everything around me is bathed in a dreamy golden glow. Oh my goodness, it's so damn beautiful. Can I cry? You know, if I had to choose a BGM right now, I'd probably pick the one at the end of Star Wars Episode 3, when Obi-Wan is holding baby Luke and watching the sunrise on Tatooine. That kind of the vibes. I'm so grateful to witness such a dazzling, surreal landscape with my own eyes. What a beautiful world. What a marvelous work of nature. It surpasses anything mankind could ever dream up or build. I've seen a lot of photos and videos of Kawah Ijen online, but none of them even come close to the awe I'm feeling right now. Believe me, not even close. And I'm sure that everyone who is standing here right now on this beautiful morning feels exactly the same.
Good job.
But the dreamy window of sunrise slips away quickly. As the sun climbs higher, the surrounding landscape becomes clearer and more defined. Still, the view of Kawah Ijen remains absolutely breathtaking. Unlike the clear blue of the ocean, this unique turquoise blue hue of the lake carries some kind of mysterious, eerie beauty. A kind of dangerous allure. Just like the sirens from Greek mythology, beautiful but irresistibly deadly. It's getting pretty quiet now, as many visitors have already headed back. But there are still quite a few photography enthusiasts sticking around, capturing the scenery with their professional gear or drones. Indeed, even after sunrise, every single frame here is still worth shooting. This place is just that photogenic. As for me, I think it's time to head back and get some rest. Because tomorrow, another big adventure awaits. I'll be back at midnight, making my way down into the crater, into the thick sulfur smoke, to witness the mysterious blue flames with my own eyes. On my way back, I feel so happy and satisfied. I even feel like I can run a little. As you can see, this trail really isn't that difficult at all. Good weather, solid plan, and perfect timing. I can't help but feel a bit proud of myself. And honestly, I barely use up any energy. Well, of course, that's not because I'm super fit. I owe it all to the hardworking porters. Anyway, I truly believe my plan to see the blue flames tomorrow will go smoothly too. It has to go well. And how do I descend the mountain? Well, I go with the Lamborghini option again. I mean, I can still use tomorrow's challenging hike as an excuse, right?
Boleh ba?
Gotta save every bit of energy I can. What a fruitful day. I hope tomorrow will be even better. Kawah Ijen, I'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you.
Good morning. Today I arrive at the gate once again, right on schedule. I'm here to see the blue flames, hoping to end my Kawah Ijen journey with a perfect finale. It seems there are fewer visitors compared to yesterday. The gate is about to open in about 10 minutes, but for now, there's only one tour group here. Their guide is patiently going over safety instructions with the group. I'm not really a fan of those old-school safety briefings,
He's still talking.
but I get it. It's his job to make sure everyone returns safe and sound. Since I already have the experience from yesterday, I don't hesitate at all this time. As soon as I pass through the entrance, I head straight for the Lamborghini. Unlike yesterday, I hire one more porter today because I want to reach the blue flame zone a bit faster.
Sorry.
Yesterday, my backpack was too heavy, and combined with my own 70 kilograms body weight, it was quite a struggle for the two porters. It ended up taking longer than expected. Today, I go ultra compact. Just one camera, one lens, and a GoPro. I'm giving myself as much buffer time as possible. I remember seeing a tip online. If the hike takes too long, you might run into traffic jams on the narrow trail down to the blue flame, bumping into visitors who have already finished and are making their way back up. So today, my Lamborghini is clearly faster than yesterday, even on the steep sections. By the time I arrive at the crater's gathering point again, I realize I've made it almost 30 minutes faster than yesterday. My Blue Flames adventure officially begins. Things are going smoothly so far, just like yesterday. And yet, even though I've seen plenty of warnings online about this 800-meter trail, I still feel pretty confident at this point. I've given myself plenty of buffer time, and again, I took the Lamborghini after all. So I should have a bit of an advantage when it comes to stamina, right?
Oh, better don't look. You know what you're doing.
Just as the path takes a sharp turn, things suddenly get real. The trail becomes steep and incredibly narrow. Rocks of all shapes and sizes are piled together, forming neither a proper gravel path nor structured stone steps. Many of the rock edges have become smooth and slippery. I can't even imagine, if it were raining right now, how dangerously slick would this path be. I've always been a cautious and conservative person by nature. I like to plan ahead and give myself room to adjust. I rarely allow myself to end up in situations I can't control. Am I really about to break that rule today? Maybe this is my last chance to turn around. Should I? Well, as you can see, I pack up my camera, rejoin the line, and commit to what now feels like the real start of the adventure. If everyone else can do it, so can I. This 800-meter trail feels more like 8 kilometers to me. It's not just the steep, uneven terrain that challenges me, it's the mental battle. I have to overcome the fear and keep reminding myself not to look around. Just focus on every single step in front of me.
I think so. When you do something.
Careful.
No jump, right? Huh?
I keep repeating little pep talks in my head. You can do this. You know what you're doing. Step by step, almost counting each one, I finally make it to the bottom of the trail. Oh man, that was not easy at all. Going downhill shouldn't have taken this much energy, but I guess all the tension and nerves really wore me out. I'm already feeling pretty tired. How am I going to handle the uphill climb on the way back? But let me worry about that later. Now, finally, the beautiful blue flames are right in front of me. So sexy. Well, you can look at this natural phenomenon from a scientific perspective, but right now, I'd rather believe it has a soul. That stunning, dazzling, almost hypnotic color gives off a kind of fatal attraction, the kind you simply can't resist. It's like the burning gaze of the siren locking eyes with you, beautiful, dangerous, and impossible to look away from. But along with that mesmerizing blue flame comes the sharp, choking smell of sulfur and the occasional wave of eye-stinging smoke. Even with a gas mask on, it feels like the fumes still sneak in through the gaps. I have to use one hand to press the mask tighter and the other to keep filming. While tourists crowd around the blue flames, snapping photos, the sulfur miners here continue their daily grind, just as they have for years. The sulfur is collected after distillation, broken down into manageable chunks, and then hauled up the mountain, carried on the miners' shoulders. Once at the top, the sulfur is loaded onto trolleys and transported to the factory. Such kind of process done with minimal protection and almost no modern equipment. The miners' health conditions are often a major concern, which is why the story of sulfur miners in Kawah Ijen has long been surrounded by controversy. But if you take the time to understand the local reality, you might come to see that this system, sad as it is, still makes a certain kind of sense. Fortunately, with the growth of tourism in Kawah Ijen, many former miners have transitioned to more profitable jobs, as tour guides or trolley porters. So, if you ever choose to ride a trolley during your hike, you're not just giving your legs a break, you're also helping support the livelihoods of locals who once worked in the mines. The sky is gradually brightening, and the beauty of the blue flames is slowly fading away. Late arriving tourists rush to snap their photos, while others head to the lakeside, posing for end-of-the-world style shots, wearing gas masks and surrounded by clouds of toxic sulfur smoke. Up close, the lake's color seems to lose the mysterious, mesmerizing charm it had from a distance. Instead, it now gives off a sense of unease and danger. Maybe it's just psychological, knowing how incredibly corrosive the water is. After all, this is a highly acidic lake with a pH of less than 0.5. At this point, many tourists are already on their way back, but I decide to give myself a bit more time to rest. But finding a place to relax isn't easy. Shifting winds keep blowing sulfur smoke everywhere, forcing me to move around constantly. Just then, as one thick wave of smoke fades away, something unexpected appears in the sky. A colorful cloud glowing against the dramatic backdrop of the lake and mountains, like a rainbow bridge stretching between two peaks. The lady next to me keeps murmuring in Mandarin, "It's so beautiful. My life is now complete." Wow, that's a bit intense, don't you think? I almost wanted to tell her, you haven't seen anything yet. Just wait until the sunrise up there at Panorama Point. But like all magical moments, this one vanishes just as quickly as it appeared, gone in less than a few minutes. Look at these massive chunks of sulfur. Miners have to carry loads like this, around 70 to 80 kilograms, all the way up to the mountain top, on foot 2 to 3 times a day. My backpack weighs less than 2 kilograms, and I'm worrying if I can make it back safely. So embarrassing. Now it's time to go back. I take a deep breath and begin this final 800-meter hike. Now this is real hiking. Compared to the nighttime descent, where nerves and tension were the biggest challenges, this part is all about raw physical endurance. Muscles, stamina, lung capacity, everything's being tested. And how am I doing, really? In one word, terrible. Absolutely, ridiculously terrible. Didn't I have the Lamborghini advantage? Well, it's like joining a 100-meter sprint against Carl Lewis with a 50-meter head start. Do you really think I can win? That's how useless my advantage feels right now. As other hikers power past me with steady steps, I keep looking around desperately for somewhere to sit. Yep, it's still far away. It feels like my left leg has been slightly off for a while now, like that strange pre-cramp feeling creeping in. Oh, please, not now. If my leg really cramps while I'm putting weight on it and I fall... better not overthinking, it doesn't help. Stay focused. I'm not gonna end up on tomorrow's newspaper. I will make it to the top. And once I do, I can finally count on my comfy Lamborghini again. I miss that trolley so much right now. After more than an hour and a half of pure exhaustion, with countless breaks, I finally reached the top.
Never again. Never again. I swear to God, never again.
Okay, don't get me wrong. I am proud of my Ijen trip, no doubt about that. But when I say never again, I mean I never want to push myself this close to the edge again. I don't want to end up in a situation I can't control. Not like this. A few miners are chatting nearby, probably waiting for their teammates to bring up today's sulfur. After such a brutal hike, I have nothing but deep respect for them. They're the true warriors of Kawah Ijen. I take one last look at Kawah Ijen. She's still there, quiet and mysterious. In that moment, I feel like I see that beautiful siren again, smiling at me as if whispering, "You want a taste of me? Then come join me on the other side." And how do I descend the mountain again? What do you think? By the time I get back to the hotel, it's almost 10 a.m. Luckily, breakfast isn't over yet, but strangely, I've lost my appetite. I can feel every muscle in my body twitching rapidly. I know what this means. My body is protesting hard. Looking around the beautiful Dialoog hotel, I can't help but feel a bit of regret. I didn't even get the chance to slow down and truly enjoy this place. Next time, maybe. Right now, I need to hurry and pack. My train leaves at noon. It's been an unforgettable journey, no doubt. But deep down, I've made a decision. From now on, I'll try to travel within my limits and cut back on some of the adventure trips. Because honestly, I don't think I have the kind of strong heart it takes for that kind of thrill anymore. Maybe giving up the adrenaline rush will come with a bit of regret. But when I think about how, somewhere on the other side of the world, people are still living through the horrors of war, and right here at Kawah Ijen, miners are trading years of their health just to make a living. So who the hell am I to get sentimental over the little things I have to let go?
Yeah, great.
Thank you for watching, and see you on our next trip.